Uh-oh, someone is getting just a little bit nervous about the recall. Hey, what's up, my friends? I am IAMDIMA, and today we're talking about one of my favorite subjects, California, and more specifically, my good friend, Gavin Newsom. No, I'm just kidding. He is definitely not my friend. But in all seriousness, you guys, on today's video, I'm going to give you the real state of the state address because Gavin's version last week sucked. And I'm going to update you on the recall effort happening against Gavin and what you can expect to happen next. Is this the end of the road for Gavin Newsom and California? If you live right here in California, if you plan on coming here, or you're planning on leaving the state, this is definitely a video that you don't want to miss. Let's go. Last week, Gavin Newsom gave his State of the State address at Dodger Stadium, and it was, in a word, delusional. Now, for a long time, Gavin did not even address the recall effort happening against him in California. But as it now looks very likely to happen, he finally broke his silence today with a tweet that says, "I won't be distracted by this partisan Republican recall, but I will fight it. There's too much at stake. Getting Californians vaccinated, our economy safely reopened, and our kids back in school are simply too important to risk. Join us." And then he links to a brand new website put up by the Democratic Party in California that says stop the Republican recall. The website is a total joke. It attempts to link the recall to a far-right movement, and as you can see, has photos of MAGA-clad conspiracy theorists. That is complete nonsense because guess what, Gavin? It's not just Republicans that want you out. It's also Democrats, Libertarians, Independents, and really everyone in between. This is the furthest thing from a partisan effort. Gavin's approval rating in California has tanked recently, and if you also support the recall, do me a quick favor and hit the like button on this video. It will show the video to more people, and I really appreciate your support of the channel. Now, if you've been following along, I've done a whole series of videos about the nonsense that's transpired here in California over the last year. From the ridiculous lockdowns that have been extended for so long and are still happening, the politically fueled school closures, the crazy business closures, the nonsensical dining bans, and everything in between. And then, of course, there are the high taxes, the overregulation, government overreach into business, the homeless crisis, crime, and all of the other issues plaguing California that have driven away companies like Oracle and Charles Schwab, just to name a few, and wealthy individuals and celebrities like Elon Musk and Joe Rogan. All of those companies and people happen to have moved to Texas, but people are also fleeing in mass numbers to places like Florida, Tennessee, Idaho, and other states that are far more welcoming to people and businesses. It's pretty ironic that while Gavin has been poking fun at the governors of those other states, the citizens of California are voting with their feet and bailing from the state in mass numbers. In his address, Gavin actually said that California is still a great place to do business.
You know, it's that special mix of audacity, human capital, and creativity found only in California. That means there's literally no better place to do business. What? California is where garages are the launch pads for world-changing industries.
That's laughable, you guys. California is consistently ranked last or nearly last in every ranking of business-friendly states. But I realize that those little facts don't really matter to Gavin. Anyhow, the recall effort to get him out of office has been going strong, and there are now over 2 million signatures collected on a requirement of 1.5 million signatures. Many people have asked me what happens next and whether Gavin will actually be removed from office. So let me simplify all of that for you and show you how it's all going to work. First of all, the signatures all need to be verified, meaning that each person who signed the petition must be confirmed to be a registered voter in California. Wait, what? If you're thinking, wait a minute, in last year's November election, they basically took every signature that was mailed in. Well, you'd be right. But for this one, they all need to be verified, which, by the way, guys, is the right way to do it for all elections. Anyhow, the good news is that over 1.8 million signatures have already been pre-verified, so it looks like there's a very good chance that the requirement will be met. Once the recall signatures have been certified, a recall election will be called, and that election must take place between 88 and 125 days from the meeting that's held to call the election. So in short, guys, between 3 and 4 months from now, sometime this summer, there should be a recall election. At that point, anyone can run for governor. They just need to submit the standard nomination papers and a declaration of candidacy at least 59 days before the date of the recall election. Now here's where things get really interesting. The special recall election will have 2 simple questions. First, voters will be asked whether Gavin Newsom should be recalled, and second, the ballot will include a list of all the potential candidates. Voters will also be allowed to write in a candidate. If a majority of people vote yes on the recall question, then Gavin Newsom will be recalled from office. In the event of a successful recall, the replacement candidate who receives the most votes will serve the remainder of Gavin's term. And here's where the challenge comes. For the November 2020 general election, there were 22 million registered voters in California. 46% of them are Democrats, 24% are Republicans, and 24% have no party affiliation. According to a recent poll, 42% of voters in California would vote to keep Newsom in office, while 38% would vote to recall him. So it's really, really close. When you dive into those numbers a little more, nearly 9 in 10 Republicans said they would vote to recall Newsom, while just under 2/3 of Democrats said they would vote to keep him. Independents narrowly favored replacing Newsom, 39% to 35%. There will, of course, be several months of hard campaigning, so those numbers will all change drastically. One of the keys to the recall election, of course, will be voter turnout, and that's where Gavin really has the upper hand. You see, earlier this year, the legislature passed a measure ensuring that every registered voter in California would get a mail-in ballot, helping Democrats in what would otherwise probably be a low participation election. Now you might be asking, has this ever happened before, and what was the outcome? The most famous recall in California, of course, happened in 2003 when Gray Davis was recalled and replaced with Arnold Schwarzenegger. But you should also know that 4 out of the last 5 recall elections in California have succeeded. So there's that. Also of importance, you guys, is that there is no limit to how much money a candidate can spend on the recall election. And the California Democratic Party has already pledged $250 grand to campaign against the recall. Now you know why Gavin is also being so nice to the California teachers unions and not forcing schools to reopen. I've talked about it on my videos, but he needs their support for that recall election. I'm curious to see what you think about this. Will Californians actually vote to recall Gavin? Let me know in the comments below. The other question is, what candidate will Gavin's opponents rally around? In 2003, Arnold really galvanized voters. I can still remember when he went on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno and announced his candidacy, and everyone was super excited. This year, 2 Republicans have already announced that they will run: San Diego Mayor Kevin Faulconer and businessman John Cox, who actually ran against Newsom last time and got creamed. Anyhow, there are also several other candidates that have been making waves recently. Republican conservative Major Williams has been campaigning for a while, and tech investor Chamath Palihapitiya, I think I said his name right, was also speculated to be running, but he recently shut down those claims. And then, of course, there's yours truly. As you know, guys, I have been a huge critic of Gavin Newsom since he imposed his one-man rule on the state last year. Through it all, I've proposed common sense answers and solutions, not only to the issues presented by the pandemic, but to all of California's challenges. I truly believe that California is the best state in the union. People don't want to leave. We have the best weather, the best landscape, and the best sports teams, well, at least in Southern California. Unfortunately, we also have the worst politicians who have completely destroyed the state. It's been so sad to see what they've done to businesses, families, and our amazing state, and I would love nothing more than to make California great again. So, should I do it? Should I run? My wife is totally against it. So if you really want me to do it, you're gonna have to throw a comment down below in the video and try to convince her. Give me your best argument. And by the way, I just released some really cool California themed merch on my YouTube channel. So whether you want to show your California love, you want to show your disdain for the state, or just support the channel, I got all kinds of cool stuff for you to check out below. Be sure to also subscribe to the channel for more videos simplifying real estate, business, and finance. Follow me over on Instagram, which I'm working really hard to grow by posting every single day. Text me and I will see you on the next video.